it helps the fact that they're very cute and they also have utility. It's an all-in-one package.
Hello and welcome to Rock, Paper, Shotgun and My Favourite Thing In. This is where I, Colin Mahern, chat to an RPS staffer about a spang new video game they've been playing and I get them to tell me about their favourite thing in it. Today I'm talking to Guides editor Ollie Toms about the gorgeous looking action-adventure game Kena Bridge of Spirits. He's absolutely rinsed the thing pre-release, so there was nobody better to chat to me about the game and specifically the one aspect of Kena Bridge of Spirits that stands above everything else. So Ollie, what is your favourite thing in Kena Bridge of Spirits?
Well, my favourite thing, I think, has to be the rot. They're just so cute, aren't they? They're the most adorable things I think I've ever seen in a game. For those who don't understand what I'm talking about, the rot are little kind of spirit companions that accompany you on your journey in Kena, and they will crop up underneath rocks and inside chests. They're kind of a collectible. You can grow your army and gain more abilities and powers, and they're very cute. They have tons of adorable animations, and it's really helped by the fact that there's a photo mode in the game. So I often just stop what I'm doing and I just engage the photo mode and zoom right in on one of the little rot's faces as they're yawning or something. It's just the most adorable thing.
So is it specifically how nice and lovely they are? Because they can be used in combat as well and they help with environmental puzzles. But for you, is it just that they melted your heart?
Well, I mean, that's certainly a large part of it. They also play an important role in the actual story. You know, there's a very good reason for them being there, and you get to know more about them as the story goes on. And as you say, they're also really useful in exploration and combat. The combat system features the rot quite heavily because you can use them to power certain attacks. As you attack enemies, you build up a kind of courage meter, which it gives the rot the courage to come out and help you in combat, and it powers certain attacks of yours with very, very punchy, satisfying abilities where you can turn your melee weapon, your staff, into a giant rot-infused hammer, which you can slam down onto the ground and hit lots of enemies with. Things like that. So they're very useful as well. It helps the fact that they're very cute and they also have utility. It's an all-in-one package.
When it comes to the combat, did you find that including the rot made those battles feel a bit different to a similar game like, say, Horizon Zero Dawn? You know, there's a bow and arrow, there's melee, there are similarities. Do you think that the rot in combat gives Kena its own sort of unique feel?
I think when you pick it apart, there's probably no mechanical difference per se, but the fact that in the world, these rot are things with personalities and, you know, they're characters, they're spirits that are helping you. That definitely does add an extra dimension. It adds a feeling of kind of companionship almost to the combat, which is a very strange thing in a game. So yeah, no, I applaud it.
You mentioned the environmental puzzles and how the rot can help you, sort of like Pikmin.
Yes.
So what does the rot actually do when it comes to these puzzles?
Well, there are two main things that they do. The first is that they can work together to carry objects, like if there's a big block of granite that looks like it really needs to be somewhere else, then you can direct your little rot army to go and pick it up, and then they'll slowly carry it over as a unified team to where you want it. And that obviously helps you with getting to hard-to-reach platforms and solving all kinds of puzzles. And there are these things called forest tiers, and they can be interacted with to temporarily change the rot into a different form. They become this unified entity that's kind of like a glowing snake-like blob with a head is probably the best way that I can describe it. And you can direct that in a similar way to purify corruption that's spreading through the forest. You can use them on these shrines, these flower shrines that are dotted about the land, to purify them and gain lots of gems as a reward. And you can also use these forest tier rot creatures in combat. You can direct them to use spin attacks and slam attacks and things like that. They're very, very powerful, but obviously they leave Kena herself rather vulnerable while she's directing them, so you have to be quite careful using it.
This one definitely hit all the right notes for you, didn't it? Just overall across the board, like the rot and everything else.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed my time playing Kena. I think it's a staggeringly good-looking game, especially when it comes to the cinematics. You know, the descriptions are already a little bit worn, the fact that it looks like a Pixar film in a lot of ways, but it's very accurate, and it also, a lot of the time, the story feels like a Pixar film. It appeals to everyone, adults and children, without feeling too kiddie, which I really respect. And, you know, the world is a really interesting one. It's very characterful and colourful, but it's also kind of bittersweet and melancholy in places. It's a very lovely world to explore and get lost in for a few hours.
Especially with the rot.
Especially with the rot.
Thanks very much for chatting with me today, Ollie, and if you, dear viewer, would like to check out all of Ollie's wonderful guides on Kena Bridge of Spirits, then be sure to have a read of his work on the website. And we also have a written review of the game on there as well, so give that a look. Thanks very much for watching, you absolute star. We hope to see you again soon as we learn more about people's favourite things in video games. But before you go, do remember this. For all of your PC gaming needs, keep it on rockpapershotgun.com.